And welcome back to another Econ podcast with Mr. Hagan. And on this podcast, we're going to look at yet another example of shifting of the production possibilities curve. So for this podcast, let's say that this production possibilities curve, this is production possibilities curve PPC1. Let's say that that is the production possibilities curve for the United States. And we have some good X on the horizontal axis and some good Y on the vertical axis. And let's say that we get some real world event, and let's say that the real world event is 9/11. So we get the 9/11 attack. The 9/11 attack. And we want to ask what is the effect of the 9/11 attack on the United States production possibilities curve. So always the first thing that we do is we say the real world event, what assumption does it match up with? So that could be fixed resources, either land, labor, capital, entrepreneurial skills, or fixed technology. So all these things we were assuming were being held fixed, and then 9/11 is going to change that. So I'm going to argue for a couple assumptions here. I'm going to argue that this would be a change, could be a change in labor, because there would have been some very high quality workers, laborers that would have been working in the buildings that day that would not have survived, and there would be changing capital. No doubt there were some tools for production, machines, computers, things like this that existed in those buildings that were destroyed that day, and probably also some entrepreneurial skill that day, because there were probably some really important entrepreneurs who were in the buildings on that day and did not survive the attack. So I think for this real world event, for this 9/11 attack, the assumption really could be any of those three, and probably even a change in technology. There was no doubt some new technological advances as well. So I'm just going to list these three. I'm going to say that we had a change in resource labor, a change in resource capital, and a change in resource entrepreneurial skills. Okay, all three of those, and they all decreased. There was a decrease in labor, a decrease in capital, a decrease in entrepreneurial skills, and if we could fit it in there, we could probably even add a decrease in technology. Either way, those are all going to cause the decrease in labor, the decrease in capital, the decrease in entrepreneurial skills would all cause our production possibilities curve to shift into the left. They would all cause the production possibilities curve to shift into the left to PPC2. They would all cause the curve to shift into the left. So we would say curve shifts to the left. The curve shifts to the left. And then we want to say this. We want to say, like this point right here, that point used to be attainable. We used to be able to do that. In fact, it was inefficient. It was inside the old production possibilities curve. So that point used to be attainable, but now after the 9/11 attacks, after the curve has shifted in to the left, now this point becomes unattainable given the new production possibilities curve. In fact, all the points that would be in here, all the points in here used to be attainable, and now they are unattainable. So output goes down. That is a decrease in our ability to produce goods and services. So that is an example of a production possibilities curve shifting in to the left, shifting into the left. All right, it's been another example of a shift in the production possibilities curve. Thanks for joining me on another Econ podcast. It's been Mr. Hagan. See you on the next podcast.